Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Keith Morrison, here to bring you this edition of Dateline, where we track a lunatic with way too many guns. Our courageous reporters and detectives risked their lives tracking this man to Dorchester, Wisconsin, somewhere in the middle of the state. But that wasn't good enough, because this man buried his arsenal under 25 feet of clay. In what else but a shipping container? Join us as we tour the premise and take a look at this individual's arsenal. Due to the nature of this content, we are keeping his identity hidden throughout this interview. If you were to drive by this random property in rural Wisconsin, you wouldn't think much of it. It's pretty unsuspecting. Looks like barren land, a pond, some trees, tucked in between a couple of houses. The only thing out of the ordinary is this sign posted out front. Clearly a means of keeping away unwanted visitors. As you travel to the back of the property, you start to take notice of this shipping container. Even with the trees barren here in the middle of winter in Wisconsin, you really don't notice it from the road. Our private investigators managed to get a hold of this man one day as they staked out his property and noticed him leaving. He agreed to do this interview, but stated that we cannot give away the location of this property. We were bound in writing to not film anything while entering the shipping container compound until we were below surface. So we blindfolded our cameras until we were let down this very strange set of stairs that almost went vertically. He did say that there are multiple doors in this shipping container, and if you pick the wrong one, it'll be the last thing you ever pick.
Hi, I'm the shipping container bandit. How my collection started was a pretty interesting story. I've lived a full life. I'm so pleased that y'all could come out to my place. First off, very surprised you could find me. I take great pride in keeping my stash secret.
Tell us your story.
Basically, 15 years ago, I was a scammer. I scammed all the Vegas casinos for millions. I bought drugs, blow, hookers, you name it, man. I was doing so much that I just didn't care. I had all this money. I had women. And it turns out that I had a little fame too with the police department. Got locked up. You see this shirt. Property of Clark County. Did 10 years. And I did a lot of reading while I was on the inside.
We're all curious. How many guns do you have in your collection?
I lost track of how many guns I have, but I think it's around 35, in between 30, 35. I'm sure that you'll count them when you take your videos of them.
35 guns? That seems like a lot of guns, but how many guns is it really? Let's take a look at this graphic put out by CBS News. There are 7.8 guns per 1,000 residents in Wisconsin. A total of 44,705 dispersed among 5.7 million people. Now if we do the quick math, there are 7.8 guns per 1,000 residents in Wisconsin. He has nearly 4.5 times that amount, which means the quantity of guns in his arsenal equates to 4,500 citizens worth of weapons. That's larger than a lot of towns in Wisconsin for one man. Well, now let's take a look at these guns. The first area we started was just this black, unsuspecting locker in the back of the vault. Well, I'm no mathematician, but I can clearly see this is not 50 nor 35 guns. What gives? As he started laying them on the table one by one to give us a better view, we realized this was only one cache of many, box by box, bag by bag, case by case. The guns just kept coming. Why do you have so many guns?
I have this many guns because this is America. And it's your right to defend yourself. You and your own property.
Don't you find it a little bit extreme or excessive?
No, it's not excessive. I have guns in each caliber. So that if shit hits the fan, you know, it's easy to find ammo for at least one of them, so that I can continue on defending myself. I've got 22, I've got 9mm, I've got 40 cal, I've got 45, I've got 7.62 by 39, I've got 7.62 by 51, I've got 22 Magnum. Of course, your 5.56 223. I've also got 300 Blackout. I've got my 44 Magnum, good old dirty hairy gun. I've got 357. I just think it's important to have a lot of people when they buy guns or they're preparing for, you know, shit hits the fan scenarios. They try to stick to one caliber. They try so that all the guns match, and if they find ammo, it works with all their guns. Now that's a good thing to have. You might think that's a good thing, but what if you can't find that ammo? What if you stumble across a 45? I mean, that does you no good with your 9mm pistol. So I just tried to cover all the bases. Now, I also have 9mm rifles. I have 2 5.56 pistols.
So do you think you're prepared?
You know, I just wanted to be prepared as much as possible. And then you got my shotguns. I got a 410 shotgun. I got a couple 12 gauge. I got a 20 gauge.
I was just starting to think you were all right until you said you had a 20 gauge.
It's kind of a trap having all these guns. I like shooting them, but you know, you shoot all of them and you gotta clean all of them. And it's just a pain in the ass.
I guess the question on all of our minds is it legal for you to have all these guns?
Yes, all my guns are owned legally, and none of them are fully automatic or anything like that. They're just standard run-of-the-mill weapons. I used to have a bump fire stock, which that was pretty fun. That was a fun way to piss away money in a hurry. But Donald Trump made me destroy it. Bastard.
Alright, so I can sort of understand the guns. I mean, to me it seems like complete lunacy, but they do serve a purpose. What I can't wrap my head around is why in the hell we are 25 feet underground in a shipping container.
A few years ago, I seen that there was some shipping containers I could get for cheap, you know, around $2,500 for it, and I wanted to have a safe place for, you know, a bunker for when shit hits the fan. It's just nice. Why do people have smoke detectors in their house in case there's a fire? Well, why do I have a bunker? In case there's a fire, metaphorically, of course.
So Do you think you have enough guns? I mean, do you really need to buy more? Are you ever satisfied?
There's some guns that I don't have that I wish I had. I wish I had a Ruger 5.7. That's on the shopping list. I wish I had an AK-47. That's one that I don't have.
How can you afford all this? You don't have a job. You just sit in your bunker all day long, waiting for somebody to, and I quote, test a motherfucker out.
Well, to be completely honest, OnlyFans. You would not believe how many dirty, ratchet motherfuckers are out there buying pictures of people's feet. It's great. Great for business. Guess what? Don't have to be my feet. All I gotta do is go to the beach, find some hot chicks, and take pictures of their feet. I mean, shit. Might sound a little creepy, but it's not like I'm the one salivating over their feet. I'm just providing a service for them nasty sons of bitches out there. I managed to stash up about $50,000, that I didn't spend on hookers and blow. That was my nice little nest egg for this bunker. I mean, it was pretty cheap. The excavating was about 10 grand, the concrete was about 5 grand, and then the shipping containers were another 10 grand. And I probably have 4,000 or 5,000 rounds of ammunition. No, it's at least that. I got 4,000 rounds of 22. I got a couple thousand rounds of 223, a couple thousand rounds of 9mm, and most everything else I've got at least a couple boxes of it. The lesser, the guns I don't shoot that often. My 44 Magnum, 357. I've only got a couple boxes of that. I was pretty skeptical when I see the reporters out front. It's pretty gutsy to walk up on somebody with so many guns. I did all the work by myself so that nobody else would even know that I was putting in a bunker. And I moved quickly so that, nobody was raising any questions when the shipping containers showed up. I got everything you need down here. I got 3 years worth of food. I got 3 years worth of water. A good amount of ammo, a good amount of guns.
If you like this video, make sure you click that like button and subscribe. That's gonna do it for me today, folks. I'm Reese Ewert. See you next time.